It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. The Nimble with Numbers team presents Chalked Blocked with Bo Big Time McBrayer.
Bam! I gotta know what a $5 shake tastes like.
That's hot. That's hot.
I want winning, folks. You don't know diddly.
And his partner, Scott Stag Simpson.
Do you know who I am?
Trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
I gotta catch a glimpse of these warlocks. Let's make a move. Let's make a move. Let's make a move.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to Chalk Blocked, the world's sexiest DFS show for now. I'm Bo McBigtime. Yeah, last week was a little crazy. I mean, I thought I was going to be on with Scott. I thought I might be on with Jordan. I thought I was going to have a guest, Eagle Dan, on the show, and none of that happened. And so I rambled on for over an hour by myself, and then I was thinking, you know what? They're probably going to try to pull a prank on me this week and do the same thing again. So I was preparing this monologue for if they did it. But look, I got Scotty Stacks back. I mean, I'm not sure if he's all the way back, but he's on screen. He's drinking beer again, and it's either his wife's birthday or it was yesterday. So shout out to Rose, because she is by far the better Simpson. And I mean, they let Jordan out of detention. I'm so happy.
Dude, my bedtime got extended. It's really, really nice. You know, it's been like 2 to 3 weeks, I think. I'm happy I'm not working. And now we have the best looking guest we've ever had. So this is
that is a fight here. So yeah, you do see him on screen. He's incredibly handsome. Maybe he could be the most handsome we've had. I mean, Matt Harmon is a handsome devil, and so yeah, I don't know. They might have to fight to the death for that title. But we have a guy here who's the face of triple play fantasy. Well, one of the faces. I mean, his brother's there too. It's kind of a contentious issue. I mean, he's the first Chiefs fan I've ever met. Like, I don't think they're really real outside of the state of Missouri. But apparently he roots for the Chiefs, the typical front-running bandwagon guy, I'm sure. He's probably got a tattoo of Patrick Mahomes somewhere in a dark place, but so darker. But he's my co-host on the Fantasy Foodies, and it's such a pleasure to have David. I'm not sure if I've been calling you Mendy for a long time now, but he goes by DMendy, David, Dave, Mendelson, whatever. But I'm calling him Mendy until he tells me not to. David, how are you doing?
Listen, flattery will get you everywhere. Honored to be on the show with you guys tonight. But obviously we do the Fantasy Foodies together, like you said, but be able to talk with Scott and Jordan. I know we've talked Jordan on.
They're not important. You don't have to talk
I don't know what he's doing with that picture.
They're part-time fixtures. At this point, they left me hanging, so they're part-time fixtures on the show. I'm calling it now.
No, but I'm pumped to be with you guys tonight. This is fun. It's always good to talk with you guys.
Well, I'm super excited because my guy Mendy is in a local league here this year that we started last year. And so he's in the Crab Cake Invitational for a little Maryland action. So love the rest of you guys. You guys are all great and everything. But, I got my guy Mendy in my league. And so I'm really excited about that. And he's getting married like the week after the league start, like the draft.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, dude, congratulations, first of all. And then second of all,
pour one out to Mendy. Game over.
Yeah, I knew it. I loved it.
Cheers, brother. I'm excited for you. And then also thank you to your amazing fiance, wife-to-be, who's gracious enough to let you become part of this draft a week before. I know wedding season is a real thing. So great woman, I gotta say. So cheers.
It sure seems like a trap. I've been married almost 10 years, and that sure feels like a trap. She's probably gonna mention that in like 7 years down the road. We're like, remember when we were about to get married and you decided to do a fantasy football draft the week before?
She's
Remember
taking
that?
the mental notes, that's for sure.
Oh,
She knows what she
they
can
will
leverage.
never, ever, ever forget, and they will never let you forget. You'll try to. It won't work. So I went on and spent $3,000 on this can of High Noon because David Mendelson recommended it to me. I had to sell off one of my kidneys and sell like 4 of the tires on my truck. So just to get a taste of this delicious vodka soda High Noon pineapple flavor that was Mendelson's favorite.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
perfection. It's perfection in a can.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
how I look
if I want a case, I'm gonna have to sell my house. It's like I was expecting a little bit of extra favoring from the company just by buying it. Like, wait, what am I really getting with this price?
Well, they teased everybody because they liked all the tweets that everybody's saying you got to sponsor the fantasy sports community. It's like, oh, don't tease us like that. Like, just ignore it if you're not going to follow. If you're not going to like sponsor us, don't like it.
Yeah, but really, it's delicious. I mean, I'm probably not going to be able to afford to get more of it, but it is good. I'm glad I treated myself.
So, Mendy, where do you find this at? Because, I mean, I might have to go check it out. If I'm breaking my fast this weekend, then all bets are off. Because when I break a fast, I break a fast. It's just how you don't break a fast weekly. You know what I mean? Like, if you break it, you break it strong. So
it's not even a fast.
Listen, I haven't had beers all year. So when my wife says, hey, you want to go out and have beers on my birthday, I just say, yes, let's do it. Let's do it right away, straight away. So, I'm breaking the fast for today. And then the weekend, it kind of bleeds into tomorrow. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a binge fast breaker. So, Mendy, where do I get this at? And what's it called again? I want to know.
But they're High Noons, and they only usually have them at like liquor stores. If you just go to the beer store, they usually don't have them just because of the vodka, the fact that they're like vodka infused. So I made that mistake when I first was trying to find them, and then I was like, nope. All right.
You guys are in the state that just doesn't like its citizenry. I mean, in California, I found this literally next to the Truly and the White Claws in my grocery store.
Oh, really?
California,
Yeah.
California. I'm sure Florida is the same. They don't give a crap about your we don't trust our citizens to buy liquor in the same place they buy their bananas. That would just be mayhem.
We threw alligators through
We got the
fucking
bougie Harris Teeter, the teats downstairs, and they don't have that in their beer store that's connected to it, which was so crushing to me.
Pathetic.
It's ridiculous. And so what it is, it's like a the way the brewing industry kind of broke in is that it used to be prohibition, so you couldn't actually have it. So they needed to break it up. So they made it into one was the brewer, one was the distributor, one was the wholesaler. So you had a 3-tiered system of kind of how beer and alcohol get distributed. The way that Maryland works is they're like, let's get in on this
fascism.
We're going to be number.
We need fascism.
We're number 4 in here. You got to sell it to us, and we're going to break it up. And you can't have liquor stores together with beer stores and wine stores. And it's really annoying because you got to go to 2 different stores to get your beer, your wine, and your liquor. And it's ridiculous. So,
and that's the price you pay to have a far superior educational system to California and Florida.
But we know all the words. We can be ebulliently effervescing our anger as we go into these stores, and we just go, I want satisfaction. And so we have the gift that we can give.
And us in California, Florida, just get melanoma and complain about it. So,
or you guys just get legal weed and then like bath salts, and then you call it a day.
Not just legal, but spectacular.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to come visit you. Honestly, both you guys, bath salts, are going to be on Jordan when I come visit. So.
Yeah, I better get a brick of something if I ever go to Florida for the first time. that's what always happens in the movies is you just come across a kilo of the Bam Bam.
It'll be like a gift basket. We'll just put different assortments of Florida.
I also like sunflowers. And peanut brittle.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. One time I touched down in Arkansas, and my boy picked us up from the airport. And he had.
You did what in Arkansas? They haven't had a touchdown in Arkansas unless it was by the Crimson Tide in a decade.
No, that's hilarious. I love that. My friend Josh had a gift basket of Jaeger. There was beers. There was koozies in there. You were ready to come correct. So I do like the idea of having a welcome package. when you get to some of these places. So very cool. So let's get into to all the shtick. Bo, you've got the show sheets, like a secret hidden show sheet. Where are we going? We got Mendy. We've got one of the best in the game, one of the brightest, one of the best looking. Like, honestly, you're talking about bringing the sex appeal here to the hottest DFS show.
I actually wanted to talk more about his beauty pageant career because I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued if you have to pay extra for darker tints of spray tan, or because I know I have a couple friends that have done fitness modeling or figure competitions, whatever they call them, and you don't have like a congeniality portion where you're answering questions about world peace. I don't think you guys have that, but I know you guys do a lot of like weird dieting for a short period of time because it's really bad for your body. I'm sure that's why Mendy has disgustingly let himself go lately. I mean, look at him. He's at least $160 now. So Mendy, I just want you to weigh in on your checkered past of spray tanning.
Well, it's very awkward, first of all, because you strip down naked in front of some random women that you don't know, and you're just like full frontal.
Sounds so strange to me for some reason.
Like a great time.
Sounds like just another day.
It's accepted.
Mendy, I'm with you. Like, there's like 5 people in the world who've never seen me naked, and I don't want it to be some random person at a spray tan salon. So.
Or at least like show appreciation. It's like they don't even act like I exist. Like when I go up there, they're just like it's like another guy. So I'm like, I'm showing you everything. Like,
right, move it over. Be like, whoa, yeah.
Or give me like
our first Deshaun Watson reference in here already. Damn, that was fast.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm just like give me like a bug-eyed look, or give me give me something, like make me feel good. But no, it's.
I think you're gonna win this one, Mendy. I think you're gonna win this one.
You're already a winner.
What's the contest
today?
But it's like, it's weird because you get so dark. Like the first day you go, the day before, and it's like a normal, like just you look like you just went to got a regular spray tan. But then the next day you go and they give you like 6 more coats on top of that. And then you're like I look like I'm black. Like that's how dark I get. Like when you're
Ross from Friends, that episode where he got like 6.
Yeah, I picture Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. Yo, what do you mean, you people?
I'm a guy doing another voice with another guy traps another guy. That's one of my favorite movies ever, by the way.
That was a good pull. That was a good pull.
Obviously, this day and age, you have to be really sensitive about that sort of thing. So, continue, Mendy.
Of course.
It's pretty just like you're dark and beautiful at that point, I guess. And then like there's millions of people in the back room. You're like waiting an entire day, and everybody's like doing push-ups. They bring their like exercise bands to like pump themselves up. You have to have like certain foods at a certain time that's gonna like make your veins and everything pop out before you go on stage, like a Snickers bar or something like that. It's weird. The whole thing is weird. You get like groin veins, like the weeks leading up to it, like all these like weird spots you never thought that stuff would come in.
What are these groin vein foods, by the way? Just taking notes.
Dude, the moment like when you're taking a shit and you like look down and then you see that like they're there, you're like, what the hell is this? And it's just like it's a weird. I don't like the groin veins, but everything else is kind of cool.
Listen, if I had veins on my shit, I'd be worried too.
That's when like my fiance is like, God, just eat a burger or something like that. You know, like
he needs a sandwich. Like, don't let grandmas into those competitions because they'd be like, "You haven't eaten yet, have you?" I have some Tupperware. I have 4 tubs of Old Country Crock that there could be stew and there could be sewing supplies in it.
Oh my gosh, you're killing me, Bo.
Yeah, her grandma is very much like that. Like when I would go, like she's like, yo, you need to eat more. Like take this. And like when I was doing it, and I can't eat that stuff. She's like, why can't he eat? And then I was like, well, I'm doing this, and she like didn't get it
because I need my groin.
Yeah.
I need this growing vein to match this other growing vein. Right now, it's just awkward. I got one thick. Ask Ask your granddaughter. She knows. She's seen it.
But as soon as I'm done,
Sorry, I've had a beer or two.
as soon as I'm done with this groin vein, I'm gonna eat everything in your kitchen. Jordan, I think you have some questions for David. I hope they're more on topic for what we usually talk about in the Thieves chat.
We'll go to. I mean, groin veins might be more on topic, but we're gonna play a little word association game. All right, David. I'm gonna name some players or whatever, and you just tell me what they all have in common.
I like this game.
DK Metcalf, Deontay Johnson, and Terry McLaurin. What do they all have in common?
Is there actually a connection between them?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No, don't worry. This is where you won't like me.
I like this one.
They are going to catch a lot of balls this season?
So they were all receivers that were drafted after McCole Hardman. As a Chiefs fan. So now going forward, do you think is there ever a chance like McCole Hardman can ever break out like for like a 20-point week? Because he's never had one of those yet. But
not even
do you have anybody? Like do you think McCole Hardman could be any fantasy relevant at this point or no?
I'm still trying to recover from that burn.
That's short. That was Tropic Thunderstorm when they're like,
yeah.
I almost didn't clear this question because McCole is a friend of the show and we love McCole Hardman. He's a great dude, but it had to go into the show. I couldn't withhold that kind of burn from the show, even if McCole is a friend of the show.
Yeah, it was a true burn too. So
the way you just delivered it too, just hit me in a different way.
He's been itching to let that one out all day long.
He DM'd us that one a while ago, and you can see the glee. I think he liked his own response. Like who liked your DM? It's like the other person.
He retweeted it, quote tweeted it, kept it private. He was just like, "This is for me until tonight."
Yeah. He would definitely re-screen tweet it. But yeah,
he's probably got some Yankee candles lit around him right now for that.
I'm not here to ask any of those burn questions. Just so you know, when I ask a question, are you going to ask another burn question, Jordan, or is it Bo's turn?
Do you want me to continue with word association? Because I got two more that could be, this one it hurts me to say because this is one of my guys, but let's play word association with Greg Ward, Kyle Juszczyk, and Rex Burkhead. What do these three players have in common?
This is my favorite.
This hurts.
Greg Ward, Kyle Juszczyk, and what was the other one?
Rex Burkhead.
Oh, woof.
They all got drafted after I don't even know, what is it?
There's no draft comparison. These were players that all had more touchdowns than Clyde Edwards-Helaire in 2020.
You are mean.
I mean, I'll say this. How do you feel about Clyde? Because I actually do have him at my RB 13 or 14 right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually high on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It's just something that I was like, Kyle Juszczyk really had 40% of the Niners touchdowns last year.
Yeah, he had 8, I think, right?
Well, so should I go back to the Mecole one first and then answer that?
Yeah, you can answer both. It's okay.
Yeah, so the Mecole one first. I'm not a Mecole guy. Obviously, in any kind of best ball league, of course, he's going to have those weeks that will win you a week or whatever. But as far as long term, you first start with the fact that Mahomes and him don't have a connection. And you've seen that just in the past with the fact that in the Super Bowl, not running the correct route, Mahomes pretty much did everything besides call him out by name and how frustrated he was with him. They also had a play against the Bills where he turned the wrong direction on a route where he was going up the seam. He looked the wrong way. The ball was coming the other way. He would have had a touchdown. So they haven't had that connection basically their whole career. Mm-hmm. I think he doesn't have enough of a route tree for him to be anything besides the one-trick pony personally. Obviously, he's very fast. They're going to get the ball in his hands, but he's not the Chiefs receiver that I think makes the bigger step as far as the fourth guy in the passing game behind CEH, Tyreek, and Kelsey. I think that's Byron Pringle. I think he's going to be the one that's fourth on the team in catches. And I know Bo thinks it's funny, but there's a couple factors that go into that. So you have one, that the Chiefs signed him to a restricted free agent tender when they didn't have to, and that's for over $2 million. So the fact that they signed him to that means that they're actually, I think, wanting to get him involved. Number two, they started implementing him as the kickoff return guy because they wanted the ball in his hands. So he actually got a kickoff return touchdown last year. Number three, if you look throughout the offseason, him and Mahomes have you think it's kind of funny, but like you'll see who Mahomes comments on and who he's like close with and who he wants to make relevant. And, again, Mecole Hardman, you don't really see that as much, them two talking, but he comments on Pringle's stuff a lot. And I think Pringle is he already has shown for us Chiefs fans, he was old reliable, third and 15. Mahomes is looking for him. And, 28 catches, I think, over his short career so far, but he's ready to make that leap. So that's where I'm going as far as the Chiefs pass catcher, I think, that could overtake Mecole as far as fourth on the team in targets.
What a crazy high bar to cross.
I actually do like Byron Pringle from Brad Kelly, who broke him down years when he was drafted, he was undrafted, right? A UDFA?
I think so, yeah.
Brad Kelly actually had him as a 5th or a 4th round grade. So my brother actually drafted him in the 5th round of our rookie draft. Just was I want this guy because his name's funny and it just fit the bill real nice. But I actually think Byron Pringle is going to be the 4th too. Or maybe Cornell Powell, but I see Pringle being there since he's actually been on the team for a few years. That Cornell Powell won't take that leap right now.
I will say, as a Chiefs fan, the Cornell, it's very similar. And this is, I don't know if you guys know Marcus Kemp or Devon Wiley, or there's a lot of these Chiefs receivers that have gotten or if you want to go back to what's his name from the Niners traded him to us. Oh my God, what's his name?
That's on the tip of my tongue too.
I totally blanked on. I'll remember, but there's been a lot of these guys that get hyped up in the off season, but it never happens. It's the ones that go under the radar that are the ones that end up being the ones that make production. So that's why I would love for their, if he ends up being a thing, that's great. I worry for us, but I don't see it. Not this year, at least.
Yeah, I think you might be right about 2021. I think there is that trust with Pringle, but I think they tendered him solely because Hardman has been a disappointment overall. He's an explosive playmaker with the ball in his hands, but he has so many holes in his game that it's really hard to rely on him, as you already highlighted. And then Demarcus Robinson is another one of those just guys that seems to flash at times, but then disappears for multiple games at a time. And so with the void left there, of course you're going to tender a guy that your star $500 million quarterback is friends with. I mean, whether or not he's a great receiver, I don't think he is. I think as a pure wide receiver, he's a lot less value than he is as a special teamer. He's their best special teams player. And I believe that coupled with the depth chart in front of him and behind Tyreek Hill is the real reason they tendered him, because he's a very valuable member of the team, not necessarily as a wide receiver 4 in target share for that offense. Cornell Powell was drafted pretty in the middle rounds, which tells me he's more than a UDFA. He's more than a late third day pick. And I've seen him play a lot of college ball because he went to Clemson and everybody saw his games. And the dude is good. He's sharp. He's not the most explosive guy, but he's a very good technician. And that's why they picked him. They picked him because they needed a guy who was polished at running routes that they don't have. After Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, they don't have a wide receiver that can run crisp routes and be open more often than not. I mean, that's not Pringle. That's not Robinson. It's definitely not Hardman. So they drafted Cornell Powell or somebody like Cornell Powell because they trusted him to be better at what they needed in that wide receiver 4 role. So even though I don't know that Cornell Powell is going to be that guy this year, he's definitely that guy in the future.
Yeah, and the guy I was trying to think of was John Baldwin. That was who.
Yeah. Oh, that was terrible.
They were trying to make that thing.
Yeah, those are just depth pieces, though. You're not thinking, we didn't spend a 3rd or 4th round pick on any of those guys that you mentioned. They just kind of said, we had a couple spots on the roster and they were better than practice squad, but they didn't get a lot of run in the games. I mean, all those guys just kind of fizzled out after not really doing anything.
No. Yeah, good points. Jordan, you have one more teed up here, don't you? There was one more. Yeah, there's a grin on your face. It makes me think we're not completely done this yet. So what's the next lob? Shot, or
Let me brace myself here.
By the way, Mendy, I did not approve any of these questions. I don't try to control anyone. Here's what I do. If you ever watch Hannibal on NBC, he just asks people questions and they tell him things. And he goes, "This is interesting. Okay, I'm gonna watch this happen." So I'm just gonna watch this happen. I love you, brother. Jordan, go ahead, man.
Nobody asked you, Scott. Nobody asked you.
No, don't give a shit what I think at all. Not at all.
So Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Jared Goff, and Matt Ryan. What do these players all have in common?
I feel I know this.
I have no idea.
These are all
Super Bowl loss to Tom Brady is what I feel like it is.
Yeah, Tom Brady has beaten all these quarterbacks in the Super Bowl.
Uh,
So I might ask you, how are you recovering? I know your Chiefs fandom started in 2018 or 2019, so then it was a rough one season. Maybe you'll be a Bucs fan this year, but how are you recovering, and how does this offseason kind of feel for you, since you guys had a lot of big splashes that nobody saw coming?
Yeah, I mean, obviously going back-to-back Super Bowls is really good. For the first time in my life last year, I actually watched the regular season and didn't care. Like, I usually am like every single game, I'm on the edge of my seat. Like, they gotta win. And I'm like, all right, I'm expecting to go at least 13-3. Like, I'm not sweating out. The first time I actually started sweating was that Cleveland Browns game in the playoffs when Mahomes got hurt. I was like, oh shit. And like, I had to wake up my fiance because I was like, I'm pissed. I was like, get up. I was like, I can't stress it like by myself. And like, I feel good about it. Like, honestly, I think they'll be great. I think they'll be in contention for the 1 or 2 seed in the AFC.
Chase Daniel's gonna kill us all.
Can we talk how he's like the real life, like Alex Moran? That man has just been getting contract after contract contract as a backup.
He's got the golden job of the century.
If you couldn't be like one of the top guys, or if you had to be like some guy in the NFL, he's 100% the guy I would have wanted to be.
Yeah, him and McCown.
I mean, he had his big moment. Like the playoffs, that one Browns game is the only thing he'll ever have to do. That's like cool, and he's just gonna keep getting contracts.
He's like known as like one of the best backups too. Like, he's like, you're gonna sign me to $5 million to not play a game every year.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold a clipboard and I'm gonna clap for Patty when he throws a touchdown. He's like this generation's Matt Flynn, where it's like, oh darn it, I lost my job to a 3rd round rookie named Russell Wilson. God darn it, I still got $100 million.
Do you think they like get upset that they're not playing, or they're like, you know what, I'm gonna be able to walk and like be completely normal when I retire and just have still millions of dollars?
Yeah, on the inside they got that fire. Like, I want to play, but if they're real with themselves, like most of these guys are, they're like, yeah, I mean, the guy's better than me, so of course he's gonna start.
Well, if he's that much better than you, then yeah, he's going to start. And then you're going to go home into your jacuzzi and you're just going to drink an extra, what's it called, David, again? I got to remember the name of that.
Oh, the high noons.
The high noons. Yeah, you get a couple extra high noons and you just go, that mother.
Chase Daniel's got cases in his garage.
Oh, man, that guy just owns equity in money. So I think he's just really enjoying. What's so funny is that I remember like when he was like a hot backup commodity. It was like, ooh, the backup. You got to get him on your team. He's a backup. He's done nothing ever. And when people have him, they're like, oh, we got him. Yeah, we got him. We got the backup.
He's very inspirational with his speeches. So
great.
If he needs to get the starter in the right mindset, he might even administer a Toradol shot or two, because he's an intimate friend.
The quarterback can't talk. He's gonna just talk through Chase. Chase, come talk for the quarterback.
How much do you think he's made in his? I just looked it up. How much do you think he's made in his career?
47 million.
I would say
61.
69 million.
Yeah, nice.
Well, hasn't made quite. I'll be honest if he did. He didn't make quite that much. He made $38 million, which is still insane.
What, in like 6-7 years? 6-7 year career, right? Like he was the first Missouri quarterback I've ever seen like go to the NFL, and now you have Drew Lock in the league. I mean, he probably should be one of those high priced backups. Although I might come to think that Chase Daniel might be better than Drew Lock. I mean, am I wrong?
Can't hurt you more. But I mean, the pass he had before the fourth down was one of the worst passes I've ever seen in my life. The interception he threw to the safety, I was like, where was that even going? But there is one backup story that I've actually heard as being useful while holding the clipboard, which was Brian Hoyer in the Super Bowl against the Rams, because he had played with McVay in Cleveland. So he knew what formations he would want to do what with. So Hoyer and Flores were working together on the sideline, and that's why I felt like nobody was open for the Rams, because the Patriots knew what routes were coming at them.
You knew Bill was like, all right, Hoyer, you're completely useless to me until you tell me what their plays are going to run. Okay, we're gonna go and see what they're going to. Let's look at the tape, and okay, that's enough. Get out of here. Get out of my sight.
Earn his worth around there.
I'm going to sign you 3 more times just for when we play the Rams.
Not when we actually needed a quarterback like last year, because my Cam got COVID and then was bad.
I'm shocked that decision shocked me, because Bill Belichick hates that Auburn kid. Like, he hates him. Like, he trusted. I can't even think of his name.
Mac Jones?
No, the Auburn kid. Their backup.
Stidham?
Stidham.
Stidham.
He hates Jarrett Stidham, because he was like, I picked you. You're a late round pick, but I picked you to be the backup to Tom Brady. And then you got your chance that one time and threw the worst pick 6 in the history of the league in that Dolphins game, which, I mean, I had the Patriots. They were blowing everybody out. Brady comes out after 3 quarters because they're up by 31 points. And it was like Patriots minus 17. I'm like, this is great. I got this win locked up. It was part of a 4-leg parlay. They bring in Jarrett Stidham to clean up the game, just finish it up, run the clock out. And they called one pass play. One pass play. It was like the Dolphins scored a touchdown, cut to 24. And then the first pass play they called just to set the tone for the rest of the fourth quarter, when they pulled away, Jarrett Stidham throws an out route that looked like a wounded duck. And like it was a 3-step drop. He throws it out wide outside the numbers. And the Dolphins corner basically had a fruity drink on his side. The receiver was already running downfield. He wasn't in the play. The corner was just like waiting for it, caught the ball, took a breath, and then ran for the end zone like 70 yards for a touchdown. And Bill Belichick was just stunned. He was like, I call one pass play, and that's what you give me? And Stidham hasn't really seen the field since then. He pulled and put Tom Brady back in the game after that play. And I lost my parlay. Thanks, Jarrett Stidham. I hate you too.
I'm glad you're not bitter at that, Bo, and you've been able to kind of move on.
I also remember I'm bitter at the Mets too, remember?
Oh, God.
I do have a list of things you're bitter about, but right now it's hard to remember all of them, because I'm happy that Mendy's here, And so, Jordan, any other heart-wrenching questions for Mendy?
No more word association. Don't worry.
I have a question for you, Mendy. When the Chiefs won it all and they came back in the fourth quarter against a very vaunted 49ers defense, how did that feel that year?
Do we have time? Do you have time for WASP? Because isn't that the line? Do we have time for WASP?
So I actually have my reaction if you want to see it. I'm pulling it.
Oh yeah, we totally got to do this.
Oh,
yeah.
I should have clipped it.
Of course, Pretty Boy was filming himself watching the Super Bowl. So.
He was probably tanned up. Someone was spray tanning him.
I don't know if you guys know that my brother Eric, obviously on the show too, he's a 49ers fan. And we were watching it together.
Oh, this is good.
And so a bunch of our friends were like filming us because they knew we were gonna like go crazy the entire time.
Especially with how good that game was.
Oh my God, it was freaking fantastic. Here we go. I don't know how well this sound's gonna come in, but wait. This is after This is after Damian Williams got the
The
game
rush.
clinching touchdown.
Outside
Oh
carry.
no.
You'll be able to hear me, I think.
Yeah. You need help, sir. You need help.
No, that sounds ebulliently excited. I love it. That's
I've-
exactly how you're supposed to be.
I've only
I
had
was-
one Super Bowl or experience that like I actually was, around for because at 5 years old, John Casey, that nonsense, that's okay. The Cam Newton not diving on the fumble, there was none of that. I don't think I screamed the whole game. I just watched. I was
Von
like,
Miller.
we're getting
Von Miller.
dominated.
He did, you mean Cam? You didn't see Von Miller coming at you? You didn't see Von Miller
Or DeMarcus
Out of-
Ware. Neither
No.
of them. No, nobody coming at. I mean, I was counting the plays. I was like, I could count on my fingers how many times we blocked someone. I was like,
Zero. Yeah, zero.
oh.
So I remember that 49ers Chiefs Super Bowl because I was at the Westgate in Vegas for it. We had a VIP table, and basically we're in a big auditorium with a bunch of other VIP tables, and they had like the sound system set up, and they had it on a 300-inch projector screen with like everything was cranked up to 11. But our table of 8 of our buddies that went to Vegas for the Super Bowl party, we had paid for unlimited food and drinks, and that was any drink ever. Like we were there from, and kickoff was at 3:30. We were there at 1 p.m. and we didn't leave until 8:30 because that's when the game let out. And we had unlimited drinks the entire time. My brother-in-law was blacked out. He doesn't remember any of it. He was crying for the national anthem. That's the last time I saw the sparkle in his eyes. I mean, at first we thought it because he's an Army vet. He was just being emotional because the national anthem was really good. But no, he was so drunk already by kickoff that this national anthem was just like flowing over him. And then by halftime, he was gone. He was just gone. But yeah, I had to carry that 6'2", 220-pound Army vet out of the Westgate, and I had unlimited drinks too. But firemen carried him 300 yards to the Uber pickup, and he remembers none of it. Yeah, so that was a hell of a time.
It's like I can't even describe the feeling. Like every 10-yard gain, I was like doing the first down thing, like to the TV. Like I've never been so animated for a football game in my life. And like at halftime, I thought we were going to lose. Like I was like, there's no chance. And then in the third quarter, when Mahomes threw that pick, I was like, oh my God. And like credit to my fiance, who's like so like much more positive than I am. Like the Texans game, I was like literally about to like go outside and take a walk. And she's like, just stick around. Just like, they'll come back. She's like, just sit there. And so, and when they came back in that Texans game,
what am I supposed to do?
I literally like when they scored, I did not move. I like kept my leg, like I'm very superstitious. So like I kept sitting in that exact seat. I had like my legs crossed a certain way. I was like,
He needs help, people.
My hand was
He's like
on my
crying for help.
floor. Right when they scored the touchdown, my hand was on my junk. I gotta put it back on my junk.
Maybe if you put your hand on my junk too, they'll score even faster.
Honey, 2 hands are better than one. Come on.
I gotta throw that in there more.
Yeah. So I remember that game too. Before Scott jumps in here, I got one more point because I remember that game too because that was one of the best live bets I ever did. Because they got a big way too early, and I was like, it's like I can live bet this. Like I never live bet. I'm never conscious enough on Sundays because I'm focused on all the games. But I'm watching this game, and I'm like, I could live bet this. I think the Chiefs have a time to come back, and so I did. It was like plus 900, and I was like, this is great. And of course, I got a big payday, and I still haven't live bet any game since.
How did you live bet, by the way? Like, did you do it online? Like, there was a place you just jump on and do it, or do you have to go to a book? Or you add a book?
No, I was at home sitting on my couch with my hand on my junk.
Dude, when
for Chiefs touchdowns.
That's how you do it, right on the tongue, Al Bundy style. I'm talking outside of the pants, though, just for me. But
no.
I'm just saying that's how I do it because I grew up with sisters. You couldn't put your hand in your pants around girls, so you put it on the outside of your pants. And then when I saw Al Bundy putting it down the front. I was like, look, I'm not that bad as Al Bundy, Mom. You know what I mean?
I grew up with a sister and my mom too, basically by ourselves. But like, so I wasn't allowed to do that. But now it's like on Sundays, they leave me alone. I mean, I think it's a negative thing, but they leave me alone on Sundays because I'm not fun to be around. I'm like, I got DraftKings on my phone. I got all my leagues set up on the iPad. I got the Red Zone channel on the TV, and I'm screaming and drinking, and yeah, I'm making messes. So no, they're not around for the junkage on Sundays.
I can't have superstitions. If I did, I would lose my mind because DFS is like the Panthers haven't. I knew we weren't going to a Super Bowl in the last 4 years. It feels like 3 years. We haven't had like those expectations because it's like I know what the season I'm walking into.
Thanks,
so the games aren't like, oh, we need to win. It's like I just want to see my players develop. Like DJ Moore, go do something good, please. I'm praying. And so for DFS, like if I had those superstitions, there's one thing I won't ever do. My great grandmother, got me a worry stone. I was like, she wanted me to calm my nerves. I'm holding that thing for the Eagles Raiders game. I'm winning $40K at halftime. Last play of the game, Derek Barnett returns a fumble for a touchdown. I go from $40K to $1,400. I grabbed that worry stone and I probably threw it as far as Mahomes can. And never again was I like, I'm going to do a certain thing.
Hit your grandma on the forehead. Grandma falls down.
Jordan, you look hungry. Would you like some stew? And whatever happened to that worry stone I gave you?
She asked me that the last time I actually won a GPP. She's like, that worry stone's doing you good. And I'm like, yep, Grandma, it's doing me great.
Yeah.
I want $1,400.
That worry stone, you mother.
I bet you still probably took it a lot more calm than most people would. Like if I went from 40 to 1,400, I think I'd my whole neighborhood would know I exist at that time.
Well, they do know from the Super Bowl video you just.
Well, that wasn't at my house. That was at somebody else's house. So my neighbors still like me.
Got called if it was in your neighborhood. And they're like, what is wrong with this person? Is he okay?
Oh yeah, God, I think I lost my voice for 3 days after that.
Well worth it. Worth it.
My team hasn't won the Super Bowl since I was 10. So I mean,
Jesus, I wasn't alive yet. That was a thought. But dude, did you guys see the? I saw a tweet the other day, and someone tweeted out, "This is why I have to take out a second mortgage on my house," and it was a picture. And it was from I think it was the Vikings Twitter or CBS. And basically it was Olabisi Johnson is well ahead of Justin Jefferson on the depth chart. And it was CBS or something like that. So, David, you said earlier about not reading into headlines. Is there any fun headlines that you remember that catch your eye that have costed you some money or fantasy because you bought into it at some point? I'm sure you had to learn your curve there. I learned it with not Justin Jefferson. Who was the player I learned it for? Oh, Alvin Kamara last year, where his epidermal shot holdout trade talks happened the day of my draft as I'm picking two, and I wanted Kamara. So
rough.
I picked Saquon.
That's gotta suck.
Oh yeah, no. I've had some very bad draft day moments, and it's awful. The whole reports on my day of my draft have always gotten me. This year, I'm just turning off my phone. I'm just gonna draft with my eyes closed. I don't give a shit. I don't know.
As you guys know, I'm a heavy running back early guy. I'm a robust running back most of the time. But last year in one of my home leagues, it was on Yahoo, and I had the 7th pick. And same thing happened. I was like, oh, Kamara, man, what's going on? And Kamara fell to me because, of course, everybody's freaking the hell out. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, okay. It's a PPR league, so I'm sit pretty, even if I don't take Kamara. So who do you think this idiot chose? I chose Michael Thomas.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Michael Thomas, first wide receiver I drafted in the first round since Nam, over Kamara, who went promptly at number 8 right after me. And guess who? I scratched and clawed. I ended up with Cam Akers and Antonio Gibson and JT down the stretch. So I made the playoffs. I made the championship. And guess what I had in store for me on Christmas Day? The 108 guy was in the championship with me, and he got 6 touchdowns from Mr. AK-41, and I lost.
Oh, so I did think about it. And I think the one that I remember hitting me the most was I really bought into the hype, not last year, but the year before when they were like, Juju's going to be, I said, like the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy football. Antonio Brown's not there. All those targets, he's going to be the most targeted wide receiver. So like you, Bo, I don't usually like taking receivers. So I
don't like Juju ever since he was at USC.
I had the last pick I had the 12th pick in one of our home leagues, and I went double tap with Odell and Juju with those picks. And
Ouch.
I have to this day, I've been playing fantasy football, tons of leagues, bunch of different leagues for probably about like the last maybe 12 to 15 years. And to this day, it's the only time I've ever finished in last place. That year, like everybody that could have been bad. I've had Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback, and of course, he was horrible that year for fantasy. David Montgomery was one of my running backs. That was his rookie year. Thought he was going to be good that year, and he was a bust. It was a bad year all around. But I think that Juju hype I remember a few people talking about him being the wide receiver 1, and I bought into that pretty hard.
Yeah, I remember that because I went Nick Chubb, and then my co-host over at the Fantasy Millionaires, Mike Collins, he went Juju, and he didn't do too well. But anyway,
he didn't Juju too well.
No, but in his defense, I was coming off of a 3-peat. He's won 3 championships in a row. So, he was bound to kind of slip and fall. But the Juju, oh, man, like Curious George kind of fruit there. Like, what are you doing, man? That's crazy. So, yeah, sorry, Mandy. I don't want to pile on. I feel bad for Mandy. By the way, shout out Thieves. If you're not down with the Thieves, that's okay. We are
in the shadows.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Mendy's one of my favorites. So, Jordan's one of my favorites always. It's implicit you guys are here, but as a guest, we don't always get to have a thief in the guest, and sometimes thieves don't come on that we invite on. So, I mean, like, it happens sometimes. So, but Jordan, I'm excited to hear. But Mendy, tell people kind of what you're doing right now. Excuse me. Tell people what you're doing now. What some of the content that you've been putting out lately, which has been fire, by the way. Talking about Stephania Bell a couple of days ago with Bo. What have you been up to?
Yeah, I mean, I was a big fan of your guys' show too. I love checking it out, and you guys do great work. And again, I always have that Maryland connection. When I was blown away when I found out that you lived in Maryland too. I forgot how I found out, but like you tweeted out a picture that you were like at the Brookfield Beer Farm or something.
I was there today. Yeah.
Yeah. You were there today?
Yeah, with my wife. Yeah.
Oh, I actually got invited to go today, and I was like 50. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We're gonna go, but
that's hilarious. You could have live streamed holding hands at the Brookfield Beer Farm.
I would have if I had known he was there, I would have 100% gone. But no, I mean, Triple Play is pretty much all we've been, all Triple Play content, like baseball, basketball, football. We try to do all 3. Now, I don't do as much basketball. There's definitely guys on our team that handle that a little bit more than I do, just because football and baseball takes so much of my time. But we're always trying to emphasize to make ourselves a little different by doing the athlete interviews and having those people come on, and then of course doing the shows at least once a week. We haven't missed a week of shows, I think, in a year and a half. So we've really, even if it's just me. I think there was one time I had Jordan and Derek Brown and Jacob Dunn on because the rest of my team, all of them couldn't do it that week. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna knock my mic. But I was
that happens at least once every Chalk Block show where somebody just completely obliterates their mic.
But it's been a blast, man. It's fun. Just you guys know, I was just recording, talking sports, and the opportunities that start opening up for you the more you're doing it, and the success that you have. So it's been absolutely it was what got me through quarantine, and we've been carrying it over since.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, it's awesome.
good. No, I was gonna say it's awesome. Some of the guests you guys have had, like seeing Austin Eckler, who I've now fallen in love with for redraft, and DraftKings and
Jeez,
different
get
things
a
like
room.
being on your show. Like that's something that's cool. Jeff Garcia, which is like a dude I haven't thought about in 15 years since I was born, pretty much. Like that's the last time I thought about Jeff Garcia. Like some of the athletes you guys are bringing back to the spotlight is cool. Like I don't see many brands doing that. It's something that I find very, very interesting, and just like
Jeff
I
Garcia
try
is
to
a
tune
Northern
in.
California hero, so I can't avoid Jeff Garcia. He's everything up here in Northern California. If you say Jeff Garcia, they'd be like, "Damn right, Jeff Garcia is the best to ever come out of these parts."
Oh no, we just South Florida is a little different. We have like I don't know 100
All
different
the
players.
NFL players.
It's like we have a lot of players there. Like
Who
Robbie
is that
Anderson.
fast guy from Coral Gables? And you're like, which one?
Robbie Anderson literally just hosted like a charity event, like in Plantation, and I had no idea he played for the Plantation Wildcats, which was a team that I played when I was in Pop Warner, like all the time. Like Robbie Anderson's like 6 years older than me, so like my Pee Wee days, he was definitely on the field, just 12, 13 years old,
Obliterating you.
probably.
And now he plays for your team.
He's my guy. Sir
Well,
Kerr.
I mean, look at this Bill Belichick-esque profile, Abby. There,
This is
He's
Bill
got
Belichick if he was in South Cal. Or, what
If
is
you
it?
had
How do you
nice
say it?
stats too.
He was on the
No,
West Coast.
if Bill Belichick was a closet Chiefs fan with tattoos, and if he, instead of being a football coach, was a fitness model,
Oh my god.
that is exactly what he would look like a spitting image. He would still talk like he was just disinterested in the whole wide world.
Well, I gotta say, you should definitely follow DMendy02 on Twitter. Check out all the content. Follow Triple Play Fantasy as well. This guy's breaking it down as an expert ranker for fantasy pros. He's with Bo. He's got his SFWA membership. That's really cool. I'm going to try to join you
Your
guys.
dyslexia is hilarious. I'm sorry.
It's not FSWA. I'm not looking at that WA, and then I'm wrong.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay, all right, whatever. Anyway, I'm not dyslexic. I don't have my glasses on, Bo. That's the problem. And I'm drinking. So, but I'm excited just because this guy is one of the nicest people that we've had on by far. To put up with Bo and then Jordan, both of those guys give him a hard time. Maryland guy, mad support. I can't wait to hang out with you in person and drink beers and do a fantasy draft. It's going to be really fun. So
is it true? I had asked David a question because I just thought of it, and I'm really curious.
Go for it.
Is it true that all Baltimore residents know every single word to the musical Hairspray?
That'd be false because I don't know the words. So I'd break that rule.
They're gonna kick you out.
Yeah, don't tell anybody because I guess it's a thing.
I love that picture. Jordan.
This is when Scott meets. This is how Scott's gonna feel when he meets David. This is it. This is exactly what he's feeling here.
And that's the only cheat day he's had in 15 years.
To this day, the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. That
What is
So good.
Mendy, what
That
is
looks so good.
What'd you say?
what is that? I can't see. Jordan's head is now there.
Sorry,
Oh,
no,
it's
I got you.
so it's this place called
wait,
Holy
Jordan.
Cow in Towson, and they have
Ice cream cake. Oh my god.
they literally make creations like that where they'll like put like cook it on the bottom of that cone is cookie dough. It's cookie dough, ice cream, and then a slice of cake on top of it.
That would come when I eat that. That would just be very
Diabetes.
Yeah. Diabetes is right.
Literally, like in the car when we were on the way home, like I was eating the cookie dough at the end, and I was like, I do not feel good. I was like I'm hot. It was like, but it was so worth it. Like if you go to their like Instagram page or their website, like they have so many crazy like creations like that. It's like unreal.
Mm,
It looks
that's
so good.
awesome. That does look delicious. So
I'm having palpitations.
yeah. Well, speaking of having palpitations, I had palpitations when Justin Freeman and Pat Mayo reached out to me and asked me to kind of partner with them on Run the Sims, which is a really cool site that's been rolled out for DFS, for fantasy, for gambling as well. So there'll be more content coming, more information coming. But go check out Run the Sims. And if you look at who is part of their media partners, it's your boy. Your boy is part of this. Bo's part of this too, because Bo's part of our media partnership over at Nimble with Numbers. And so, you got your headshot.
That's hearsay.
Here.
That's hearsay without my name on there.
That's hearsay, right? Yeah, Bo still wants his cut though. So I'm excited to be able to join. I mean, Justin Freeman is one of the best DFS players in the world. So, I mean, if you think about my life, I get to hang out with Jordan Vanek, one of the best DFS players in the world. I get to hang out with Bowman Big Time, one of the best DFS players in the world. I get to hang out with Justin Freeman, one of the best. It's just I'm surrounded by amazing people. So
after this year, Scott, what's going to be your excuse?
Well, I mean, for what? To not win the Millie Maker? Nothing. So
to not be one of the best DFS players in the world.
I mean,
you're closer than you think. You don't give yourself enough credit.
I gotta get better, and so being around everybody else is going to help me get better. So I'm excited to work on this. And then listen, while we're at it, you guys need to go over to BigTimeFlavorCo.com. Right now, there's just this delicious flavor that can be unleashed upon your palate, whether it's hot box, gourmet hot sauce, which I love, I eat all the time, or it's a smoke shack rub, or it's a taco sizzin, or that's clucking hot. The whole bundle, $45 right now. And also go get yourself some swag, man. Get yourself a hat, get yourself some apparel, get some gear. Go Viridian Global, hook yourself up. Bo, pump your amazing food. I know you've got more coming down the pike too as well.
Yeah, so bigtimeflavorco.com, or you can go to simply bigtimeflavor.co. You can still go to hotboxbatch.com. It takes you to the same page. And we are the official punch in the mouth of fantasy football.
Hell yeah.
So get yourself punched in the mouth. You'll still last for seconds. You'll smile through that bloody lip because your mother-in-law's cooking will finally be tolerable. Just go to the website, order the bundle, order whatever suits your fancy. Big Time Amigo is my newest product, which is an all-purpose seasoning blend that goes good on everything. You can sprinkle it in your eyes and it'll burn, but it'll taste delicious.
Nice. I would love to make my announcement, but we're waiting on that. Stay tuned.
You're not allowed yet.
I'm not announced yet.
I would just say this about Jordan's secret announcement.
We're all excited.
Obviously, but I would just say this about it. I told my wife when I explained to her what was happening, I said, this is just like the stepping stone. It's just the beginning of the ascension. I said, I cannot wait to see in 5 years, how Jordan has taken over the DFS industry. And so it's just so encouraging to be able to talk with you and shoot the shit about players, because we're making each other smarter. We're sharpening our swords, as they say in the Proverbs I grew up reading. And it's really cool to be able to build relationships with people like yourselves. This is what it's really about in life. It's not just about winning money. It's about building relationships, being able to learn from each other, eating great food, having great fun, making fun of male models. You know what I mean?
I still can't.
God, that's triggering.
I'm sorry. We love you so much, Mendy. We just, we can't. Jordan's the meme magician too. He's not just the math magician, Bo. You got to update his profile. He's the meme magician. This guy's game is on fire. Him and Craig should just start a company called "We're Fucking Better Than You." Oh, sorry, can't say that on the yeah. Earbo.
So yeah, Jordan is he's gifted, and I think in 5 years he's going to have a king's throne made of High Noon cans. So it's
man, he should, man. I love Jordan. Jordan, I missed you on the show, by the way. As me being off the show.
We missed you on the show, Scott. You're a terrible producer. You need to be a personality. You're a terrible producer.
This is what Scott was wearing while he was producing the show.
I have to teach him how to grill before he can wear that.
Here's the main problem is that last week when I was producing, I was also trying to care for the dog. So right now, the dog's upstairs, and who knows what the dog's doing.
It's the best show we've ever produced.
It's been great. And right on time too. We're at about an hour. So I gotta say, please do follow all of our friends here. Go check out Bo. Bo_McBigTime on Twitter, Jordan Vanek DFS on Twitter, DMendy02 on Twitter, myself, Nimble W Numbers on Twitter. And Bo, what talk about your show real quick with you and Mendy. When's the next episode you guys have coming up? If you guys know when that's going to be.
We don't. It's to be determined. We're
Very sporadic.
We're a sporadic, non-scheduled, big fish only type show. So we're waiting for the whale to come back along, and hopefully the next one will follow us as a result of having a great time on the show.
I pray that happens to you and your followership. So, well, I appreciate all of you guys. Check us out next week. But do we have somebody lined up for next week? I feel like we do.
Yeah, so I had an idea because next week we have a special guest. Not to overstate. I mean, David, you've been amazing. I mean, a lot of great things.
We are the sexy.
I'm the stepping stone for the.
We are striking. We are striking while the iron is red hot. And next week we're having For Whom J Bell Tolls, the star, the flavor of the week. He's on fire right now. He's one of the best writers in the whole space, and he's just one of the best personalities. And he's having himself a hell of a week. Successful. We're proud of him. We're happy to say that he's one of the thieves, and he's coming on. And I think we can throw Eagle Dan back in the mix next week to see if he wants to jump in with us, since we didn't get him on last week.
Thieves are always forgiven. You know what I mean? Like, thieves have real lives. So all thieves are
well,
loved.
They get 3 strikes, just like curse words on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm so sorry about that. I've never said that before. Mendy, you and I are going to have to figure out how we can hang out before the draft and just figure out how to give Joe Bond a hard time. You know what I mean? I feel like, I think that would be a lot of fun. And we can hit up one of these breweries and I can do it. I love hanging out with my wife, but, sometimes it's just about the boys,
That and some golf. I mean, we're talking about with JL, like, got to do a golf thing. Go to Brookville.
You know what? A Brookville beer golf combo. That would be outstanding. So we'll talk. Listen, I don't want to get these guys, these non-Marylanders, jealous. So on that note, we'll be back next week with Jeff Bell, For Whom the Bell Tolls. For whom the Jeff Bell tolls.
For whom J Bell tolls.
For whom J Bell tolls. I love him, by the way, not just for all his great content, but just for who he is as a person. So I think great dude. Yeah, that's what it's about. Like, that's the thing about Mendy's an amazing content producer. He can crush it. He can talk to anybody, but really, he's a great guy. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's about. It's about being a great guy. And so that only the best on this show, and me. So that's how it all goes. Jordan, you're the best, man. Get out of here. We already know that. Big announcement. Big announcement. Jordan's the best. So
hey, Jordan, can you send me some Capri Sun? Or just go to the store and get some Capri Sun. I'll pin a $5 bill to you.
You guys are
to the store.
Yeah. Well, with that, Bo, I just have to say,
it's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Be fearless at MMA Long Island and Seituha Karate. Located at 28 Cold Court in Ronkonkoma, MMA Long Island is the martial arts school for you if you want to learn combat-proven techniques, build confidence, discipline, and self-esteem while learning real martial arts to fight back against bullies, predators, and peer pressure. MMA Long Island offers group and private lessons for all ages and levels in traditional Goju-Ryu Karate, MMA, and self-defense. MMA Long Island is one of Long Island's most affordable martial arts schools. There are no promotion, belt, or membership fees, and family discounts are available. All classes are taught by 7th degree black belt Sensei John Benedict with over 30 years teaching experience. So whether you want to get in the ring or protect yourself and your family, MMA Long Island can help you reach your goals. Visit MMALongIsland.com. That's MMALongIsland.com, or call or text 516-381-9660. That's 516-381-9660.
Do current market conditions have you nervous? Our experienced team of financial professionals at Heritage Harbor Financial Associates understands that no two investors are alike. We all have different goals, needs, and appetites for risk. That's why the one-size-fits-all approach does not work. especially when planning for retirement. At Heritage Harbor Financial Associates, we analyze your unique investment style so that you can work toward your individual retirement goals on your terms. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates can help you take steps to reach your retirement goals by providing a wide array of financial products to fit your needs, even for the risk adverse. Give us a call at 631-331-6599 to learn more or to set up an appointment with one of our financial professionals. You can also find us on the web at hhfa.org or on Facebook at facebook.com/hhfa.org. Our number again is 631-331-6599. That's 631-331-6599. Investments in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds and variable annuities are not FDIC insured and are subject to fluctuation in value and market risk, including loss of principal. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates offers securities through AXA Advisors LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA, SIPC. Annuity and insurance products offered through AXA Network LLC.
Edward Lehman has been a trusted insurance advisor for over 16 years with insurance solutions for auto, home, commercial, life, and retirement. He's located at 54 Sunnyside Boulevard, Suite H in Plainview. That's just 1,000 feet south of 495. Local agent, local advice. The time to think about insurance is before you need it. So do yourself a favor, and before you pay your next insurance bill, give Ed and his team a call, 516-935-3900, or visit them online at www.allstate.com/EL. Edward H. Lehman Insurance is your trusted insurance advisor.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.